All right, guys. Today we're going to look at how the back leg can influence what the rest of the body does, and actually how it can affect the efficiency with which you're able to rotate. So, a great example of this, or what we're going to use today, is Trevor Bauer. He's made some significant mechanical changes from his time in college, which you see over here to the right. This is back in 2013, back before Bauer driveline was a big thing. Those that were kind of watching back then will recognize this clip. This was kind of a big clip back in that time. I believe it was at Jim Wagner's Throw Zone, but we're going to basically take a look at this clip right here versus this clip right here and look at how the back leg works versus how that affects him as he moves into foot plant and then affects him as he rotates. So we'll play this clip out on the left here just so you can get a feel for rhythm and tempo. Go ahead one more time. Then we'll go ahead and do the same over here. One more time through. Okay, so what I want you to notice and what I'm looking at here is the amount of tension he has in this back leg in each throw, and really the amount of push that he has versus the amount of relax that he has. So we'll start kind of early in the leg lift here. So you'll notice that he has a little bit more counter rotation here in 2013, and then in 2019, I believe this clip was, his leg kick he has very little counter rotation at all. So right off the bat, the lower half is looking more linear in this updated clip versus in this old clip here. And what we'll also notice is that in this clip over here, he kind of gets to peak height, and then he starts sitting and moving forward. Whereas in this clip here, before he gets to peak height, we can see him shifting forward right there, and then getting his body moving, center of mass moving very quickly. And the reason this is important is because the setup, or what you do early, affects everything down the chain. So if we're trying to affect things, at this point in the throw here, instead of thinking about what we can do here to make changes, we need to think about what we can do back here that are going to lead to the body organizing itself at the end for optimal result. Because this part right here happens so fast, right, that we were not going to consciously control it. So we want to make changes back here in the setup so that we can set things up to rotate well versus trying to make the changes during actual rotation, right? Because again, that should happen so fast that we don't really have conscious control over that. But so this side we have a more rotational lower half. This side, or the newer version, is a more linear lower half. And what we're going to see is that actually allows him to basically stay. How I like to think about it is to stay softer on that rear leg. So he's not worried nearly as much about creating stride length. I know he's been quoted as saying imitating a lot from Linscomb early in his career. So that had a huge impact, I'm sure, on this clip here, where he's trying to produce a lot of lateral movement with the lower half, and that ends with kind of this extension, this push at the end. And the whole point, or what I wanted to demonstrate with this clip is the difference in posture as he works in a foot plant. So you'll notice in this clip here, again, it's easier to see in kind of faster motion, but we see him kind of fold into foot plant, right? There's no excessive change of posture as he gets into foot plant and as he gets into rotation. He sits linear lower half, and then his upper body folds into rotation very nicely. If we go over here, in contrast, we see big posture change as he moves into foot plant, and it's that you can literally see kind of a push with that back leg, right? Where he's trying to get more lateral movement. Even his front leg, we can see it start over here and then like way over here and then swing open. And that's something that Paul Nyman talks a lot about. But it seems that the linear lower half seems to work better for Bauer. But again, we see that big posture change, and it just looks like he's laboring harder to get into rotation. And obviously he was very good back in 2013, right? But he has gone on record as saying, he feels a lot better. He's healthier. Driveline has also talked about it. Just these changes that he's made with his lower half that has led to a better upper half, in my opinion, more efficient rotation. Right, this looks very clean and easy. Right, that's an easy mid-90s, and it's because that's efficient. Right. So again, that relaxed lower leg, where he's not getting into early extension with that back leg. He's creating early momentum and then relaxing, sitting into it, relaxing into rotation so that his upper half can then finish, versus not getting going quite as early and then having to force that lateral movement with the back leg, posture change with the upper half, then a little bit less efficient rotation to end.